Hello everybody, welcome to my channel Newsboy Audio. As always, like and subscribe. So I got a couple requests. I was on Reddit and we wanted to, people were asking that some guy had some spots on his driver and he really wanted to know how he was supposed to clean them off. And I've looked around the internet for information. I was able to help this man out because I do a lot of restoring of this equipment and I didn't find a lot out there, so I wanted to make this video. Now, just a heads up and a warning, I want to start this with right from the get-go. This is not something you want to do to a good pair of speakers. This is a way to rescue speakers that are somehow damaged or have dirt on them, or that you're trying to restore after many, many years of usage. Doing this is a risk. You can damage your speakers. So do it at your own risk and only do when you have to do it. I have some other videos on my internet. You can see the different types of speakers that are out there and the different types of drivers that are out there. Let's first talk about materials. The common materials used in speaker design are paper and metal right now, and fabrics. But also you'll see in the older designs of the Bower & Wilkins is these Kevlar cones. The newer ones contain composite materials, sometimes carbon fibers and other things. So the first thing you need to do is stop. Find out what your speaker is made out of. Contact the manufacturer about recommended cleaning methods and follow their advice. And if you can't find their advice out there, then come back here and follow the advice that I am giving you. So now we got a Bower & Wilkins Concept 90. These are the old Bower & Wilkins, and these drivers are in fact Kevlar. They are a little dirty. They've been painted. Someone painted them, and I've actually already cleaned these before. They were so dirty that they were turning my cloth black, and are over 20 years old, which is why they got so dirty over the years. But my first recommendation is start with a dry cloth. Something else. These Kevlar drivers are extremely tough. The paper ones, they don't deal with water as much. You need to make sure you keep the water down low when we get to second step. But for the first step, we're going to try with a dry cloth, no water, no solvents, no nothing. And what I want you to do is take the cloth in one hand, and I like a small cloth and a cotton cloth, something 100% cotton. You can even use a sock, put it over your hand if you want, and use that. But start with dry and see if the dry can fix it. With aluminum drivers, the important thing to consider, especially with the older aluminum drivers that are flat, they don't have any shape to them. The new ones all have an imprint on them. Because they're finding that helps the sound. But the older ones, like these old monitors over here, these monitor audio silvers, you'll see the aluminum driver here is very smooth. And now the reason I mention aluminum and metal is because you can damage these permanently. You can dent them. You can see up here in this corner, there's a little dent in this one over here as well. That happened from just before I got the covers on. It might not come out very well because we've been able to pop them out and stuff. Eventually I'll replace those drivers, but at $200 each, they're a little expensive. So I haven't done it, and it doesn't affect the sound, but it does look different, and it depreciates the value of the speaker, unfortunately, because audiophiles are very peculiar and they're looking for a high quality product. So I may replace them, but right now I'm okay with that. All right, so we got the Kevlar cone, and what I want to do is I want to point out a few things. This is the tweeter up here. and this is the woofer. We're only dealing with the woofers on these. The tweeters, this tweeter is aluminum tweeter. It can dent, so you want to stay away from that. And if you do want to clean it, maybe I'll make a video on that. Those are highly risky to clean. It depends on the type of tweeter. There's soft dome and non. You can clean them, but you want to make sure you do not dent them or apply really any force to them, as with the aluminum drivers as well. These Kevlars are a little tougher, as you can see, and you can, touch it. These drivers are pretty rigid. They have to be, an ultimate speaker is ultimately 100% rigid and 0 weight. That would be the ultimate speaker. It's impossible, but that's what the manufacturers are trying to accomplish. So all of the speakers have some rigidity to them, and all of them are a little bit hard to do. They also move quite a bit of air and push on the air quite a bit, so they do need that rigidity. All right, so we're going to take our cloth, and we're going to wipe it around like this, okay, on the dirty spot, and we're going to just try to get it off, not applying a lot of force to them. These are the foams. You want to check these, make sure they're still soft while you're doing this. If they're not, you could always replace them. They're not hard to replace. You come in here, take a little chisel blade to them and take them off, especially if they're Kevlar. The paper ones are a little trickier. I do want to stay away from the dome in the center of the tweeter, in the woofer. This dome can have an indent be pushed in, so I want to stay away from that, and I want to only clean the area that's dirty as much as possible. If I do have to clean it, very light, very, very light on the speaker, very light on the material, and try to get it off. Now, if this does not get them clean, what I want to do is I want to go into my sink with the Kevlar ones, the aluminum ones, and even the paper ones. And I want to wet this, get it really soaking wet. And then I want to take it in my hand and I want to squeeze every little drop I can out of it. So it's as dry as I possibly can get it. So it's just very little damp. And then I want to repeat this process again. What I will do with the wet ones is, if I need a little bit more moisture, is I do one wipe with the wet, one wipe with the dry. One wipe with the wet, one wipe with the dry. So I take the damp cloth, wipe it, I then take the dry cloth, wipe it. And I do that over and over again until I can finally get them clean enough where I fix the problem. Again, this is something that I do when restoring speakers. Some of them over the years have gotten so dirty and so filthy, it's got to affect the sound. I've had these things come black. And so to me, it's worth the risk to do this, but I do acknowledge that I can damage something while doing it. I should be okay if I'm careful, but mistakes happen. When I go in, a few other little hints and ticks. When I'm working, I work with one hand. I put my other hand somewhere else. I'm not holding any tools. No screwdrivers, no nothing. Because what I've noticed over time is that if I'm holding a screwdriver in my hand, then I might accidentally poke the driver, or I might accidentally do something while working. So what I want to do is I want to pretty much keep my other hand away. I want to work with one hand. When I go in, I pay attention to what I'm doing, how I'm coming in, so just so that I don't bump anything. And that allows me to reduce my mistakes. We all make mistakes. We all stop thinking for a second. We use our hands without even noticing it. And so we can poke or prod or jerk or do something every time. So I go in with one hand, wipe, and that is it. Take the dry one, wipe, and that is it. And then when we're done, we're done. We've restored the speaker. If you can't restore the speaker, even with this damp cloth, try adding a little bit more water in doing that. Let the speaker dry for about a day before you use it. And just be very, very careful doing this. As always, like I said, subscribe and like to my channel, and make sure you are only doing this when you have to. I don't want you damaging your wonderful speakers by cleaning something that's just not that very dirty. So thank you very much, and I hope you like and subscribe to my channel. I'll be providing a lot of different vintage audio gear reviews and stuff of these rare speakers, like the Bow & Wilkin Concept 90s. So like and subscribe so we can keep making more of these and keeping you guys smiling and happy with your audio gear. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoy. Thank you. Have a good day.